Negativity leads to anxiety, which has to be cut at the root. Hi, and welcome back to this channel. I'm your host, Dr. Lindsay Marie. I'm a Christian comedian missionary doctor, and I'm here to share with you a message of hope, health, and wellness for the mind, body, and soul. So if you don't want to miss any future videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to stay till the end of the video for a word of encouragement as promised for each video. The title of today's video is Detox Your Mind. And this is the first video in my detox series. And in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you 5 toxins of the mind that you need to get rid of or avoid in order to live your best life. First off, let's start with a definition. Detox. Detox is a process or period of time in which one abstains from or rids the body, in this case the mind, of a toxic or unhealthy substance. When the body has an excess of toxins built up over time, it can become very sick. It can lead to cancers or even worse, death. The same goes for your mind. When exposed to an excess amount of toxins over time, it can lead to mental health disorders, depression, anxiety, or even worse, death by suicide due to these mental health disorders. So what are these toxins and how can we avoid them? Toxin number 1, lies. I don't think any of us are immune to lies. We have all been lied to at some point in our lives. And how did it make you feel? Hurt? Disappointed? We even lose trust and we put our guards up. So if that's how you feel when other people lie to you, why would you believe the lies in your own mind? Here is a list of some common lies that people have floating around in their head at any given time. I am not good enough, smart enough, pretty enough. I won't be able to succeed. My life is terrible. I will never overcome this. My life has no purpose or value. I will never get over my past mistakes. Nobody likes me or loves me. Do any of these lies sound familiar to you? Don't worry, it's not always your fault. Throughout life, we can experience many events that lead us to believing these lies over time without us even noticing it. But also, the Bible warns us of the master deceiver who can place lies in our mind. Eve was deceived by Satan, which led to the fall of man. Genesis 3:4-5 says, "The serpent said to the woman, 'You surely will not die.'" Lies! And 2 Corinthians 11:3 says, "I am afraid that, as a serpent deceived Eve by his craftiness, your minds will be led astray from the simplicity and purity of the devotion to Christ." Luckily, God has provided us with a cure for Satan's lies, and that is by replacing Satan's lies with God's truths, which can be found in the Bible, God's Word. John 8:31-32 says, "If you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." So choose to believe truth today instead of the lies in your mind. Next up is toxin number 2, negativity. Negativity leads to anxiety, which has to be cut at the root. Negativity is also similar to the lies in our mind. The definition of negativity is the expression of criticism or pessimism about something. So what is that something? It can be anything negative about your day, about your life, about your current situation. Words similar to negativity include gloom, hopelessness, despair, apathy, despondency. Sounds pretty bleak to me. You know those people who are always focusing on the negative and never have anything positive to say? Well, they're toxic. They're toxic and you've got to avoid them at all costs. Don't surround yourself with negative Nancys or risk becoming one yourself. Negativity comes in the form of our thoughts. And this is the advice I give a lot of my patients when counseling them, when battling negative thoughts. Whenever a negative thought comes in, you have to speak out the opposite. A positive voice cancels a negative thought. So what is a positive statement? It's otherwise known as optimism. And the definition of optimism is hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of something. Have you ever heard the quote, positive mind, positive life? Well, it actually works. And the reason it works is because it also comes from the Bible. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue. They that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." So for instance, instead of being consumed by anxiety with the thought of, let's say, I'm never going to pass my test today, you have to speak out the opposite and say, I studied very hard for my exam, so I am well prepared to pass my test today. Unless, of course, you actually didn't study for your tests, in which case, you're doomed. So remember, when a negative thought comes to your mind, speak out the positive, opposite statement instead. Next up is toxin number 3, self-limiting beliefs. This one goes more deep and can take some more work or time to detox from. And the reason is because self-limiting beliefs operate at the level of the subconscious mind, and they are often formed at a young age. Our beliefs are formed in 2 ways. 1, by accepting what others tell us to be true, and 2, by our experiences, which lead to inferences and deductions. So both of these are related to the first 2 toxins we already discussed. Lies, either others tell us, Satan tells us, we tell ourselves, and we believe them to be true. Or 2, experiences, let's say they're negative, which leads us to believe a negative belief about that experience. For example, someone might say, my last 2 boyfriends were liars and cheaters. Therefore, my new belief is all men are liars and cheaters. And they go about the rest of their life believing that. Sad, but true. Because those negative experiences actually molded a belief that is now seared in our subconscious minds. And it's going to take a conscious effort and work to change those beliefs. So what's the best way to begin to tear down these self-limiting beliefs? Number 1, you need to get rid of the lies and replace it with truth. Number 2, you need to get rid of the negativity and replace it with positivity. And number 3, you need to actually retrain your subconscious brain through a conscious effort. And the way to do this is by speaking out positive affirmations daily and actually believing them. And I'm going to be making a separate video dedicated solely to positive affirmations, so stay tuned for that. And the most important thing to remember about detoxing self-limiting beliefs is that it takes time. So be patient with yourself. It took a lifetime to form them, so you can't expect them to just go away overnight. I mean, I myself am still working on detoxing some of my own self-limiting beliefs. Toxin number 4, fear. Have you ever heard that quote, fear is false evidence appearing real? You see, fear only has the power that the mind gives it. Fear is not only a toxin, it's a weapon. It's another tactic used by the enemy to paralyze, steal, kill, and destroy. There was another quote I found on fear that I liked. Fear does not stop death, it stops life. Let that sink in. So what creates fear? It's a threat or a danger. And how can we overcome it? We must choose faith over fear. Let's take it a step further. In medical school, we learned about the sympathetic nervous system. This is the body's direct, rapid, involuntary response to dangerous or stressful situations. The classic example they use when explaining this concept to us is when a person is being chased down by a bear. It stimulates something known as the fight or flight response. And it's when our bodies trigger a physical response involving the brain, the nervous system, and hormones. But without getting too much into the neuroscience of it all, the point is our bodies are designed to either fight or flee fear. So the next time you feel yourself being overcome by the toxin of fear, remember that your body was created to fight it. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. And toxin number 5 is doubt and worry. The definition of doubt states, it's a feeling of uncertainty. And the definition of worry is giving way to anxiety or unease, to allow one's mind to dwell on difficulties or troubles. Worry also refers to thoughts, images, emotions, and actions of a negative nature in a repetitive, uncontrollable manner. Overall, doubt leads to destruction, which is worry. It's a constant state of turmoil for the person who's dealing with it. Worry and doubt is evidenced by a lack of faith or, again, positivity, optimism for a situation at hand. The anxious person is always saying, what if this happens? What if that happens?
What if my car won't start? What if I can't get to work? What if I can't pay my bills on time? What if I lose my house? What if I become homeless?
It's a never-ending negative cycle again, and it's toxic to our minds. I would like to give you another illustration of a person who has excessive worry. Imagine in one hand I have a brain that's a normal brain, and in this hand I have a brain that's a worry brain. The normal brain has lots of cracks and crevices in which thoughts can easily pass through. So let's open our fingers to demonstrate that. On the other hand, the worry brain is clogged with all of the toxins we discussed today: lies, negative thinking, negative thoughts, self-limiting beliefs. So in that case, the cracks and crevices are clogged up, and the worrisome thoughts can't escape. The worrisome thoughts build up over time and lead to excess anxiety. So the next time you have excessive worry, remember this illustration and think about what's clogging the cracks in your brain, not allowing those worrisome thoughts to escape. If you are one that experiences excessive worry or anxiety, that might be your signal that it's time to detox your mind. Again, the Bible is full of truths which help us to overcome daily anxieties, doubt, or worry. As it says in Philippians 4:6-7, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And as promised for every video, I will leave you with this word of encouragement from the scripture as your prescription of the day. And it comes from 2 Corinthians 10:5, which states, we demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And the knowledge of God is also the truth from God. So remember to replace those lies in your head with God's truth and continue to be aware of the toxins of the mind and how you can overcome them. So that's it for today's video. Next week's video is going to be how to detox the body. We're going to be going over several different toxins that affect the body, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you on the next video. Until next time, bye!